Telecom Secretary Shri Additional Secretary Rita Tevatia, Vipin Tyagi, Executive Director of CDOT, Dr. Kumar Shivaranjan, Chairman of TSDSI, and Professor Abhay Karandikar, Secretary of the organization. Yes, I have come to this campus for the first time after becoming a minister. The campus is good. I hope the product will be good also. Whenever a briefing is given to me as the Minister for IT, as the Minister for Telecommunication, a lot of societies are there, bodies are there. So the day before yesterday, I asked my private secretary कि हमारे कितने बच्चे हैं मुझे बताओ जहाँ मैं chairman हूँ, because the number runs into about 20 plus. But they are doing good work. I will take separate presentations. It is wonderful to be here. When we talk of standards, I am getting nostalgic today. And let me begin with two anecdotes. In the year 1988 or 89, perhaps, I had gone for the first time to USA. A young practicing lawyer in Patna High Court, there was a group study exchange program of professional people. We had gone to San Diego, Southern California. All of us were keen to talk to our families. I managed to talk to my family on the third day on phone. There was no mobile then. And rest of all could manage to. One of my colleagues was from Gaya, another remote area in Bihar. And it was 10 days he was not able to talk to his wife. We used to stay in American families. And finally all of us collectively requested the telephone coordinator that you please ensure that she talks to his wife. She said, promise, let me try. The time difference was there. She tried to enter from Delhi, she could not reach Gaya. She tried entering from Mumbai, then Bombay, she could not reach Gaya. Finally, she tried to try from Calcutta, she could manage. And she was telling all of us it was going, the sound was on. Why the operators are sleeping in all the exchanges, even if it's night, they are supposed to be paid for night duty as well. That expert comment was going on. In the 7th attempt, she managed to have a linkage to Gaya and allowed my friend to talk. From that point in time, where we have traveled. Let me give you another instance. One of my professional colleagues hails from Madhya Pradesh. She's doing well here as a lawyer, but she gets all her grocery from her estate, particularly the rice and the pulse, because they're very tasty. Recently she told me a very interesting anecdote. One day, her grocery shop owner from a Mufassil area of Madhya Pradesh sent her a big message with the photocopy of the receipt which he has booked, the food grain, the number of the train, the wagon number, at which station it's going to stop in Delhi, and also his account number for electronic transfer of the cost. This is where we have traveled, how technology is helping people. I always say, one of the biggest revolutions which we have witnessed in the last about 15-20 years is the explosion of communication technology. And when I am using that expression, I am using in a larger framework, include IT and communication. We are truly becoming a global village. And whenever we talk of globalization, communication instrument has become the biggest fillip of globalization. Because you have a mobile phone, you talk. You press the button of your internet, you have all the information. Communication, information is power today. And the world knows that any person is staying anywhere in any part of the world can reach any person is staying in any part of the world, regardless of the attempts of certain regimes to block information. Because I always believe Technology is going to overpower any attempt to block. Yes, if incidents, information, encourage terrorism and other informations are sought to be blocked, there may be a legitimate reasons for that. If that be the scenario, there has to be standards so that people can communicate, and people can communicate well, effectively. But I always say, a global regime will always be permanent if it answers to the needs of the local. Unless I see the same movement in the field of internet. When this Google, a few days ago, the Facebook chief came to meet me. It was a remarkable meeting of mine with him. I asked him what is the age. Mark Zuckerberg, he said, I'm 30. When you established Facebook, when I was 99. Now why he came to India? We welcomed him, he's a global icon. But he is seeing India as a big country where Facebook must have the presence. Both Google and Facebook have the biggest traffic in India after USA. They have got telecom network of 946 million, broadband of 70 million, internet 240 million, 90% of whom access through wireless technology. Therefore, we have become a very happening country as far as information, communication, technology is concerned. But when we talk of standards, and I must compliment the Telecom Standard Development Society of India, in a short span you have done well, but you have to do a lot more. Keep it up. And today I wish to put 2-3 questions. The standards being followed today, do they subserve India's need? That's the first question I would like to ask. Indian requirement must be kept in focus. The second is, do telecom network use optimum equipment? Whenever a complaint comes to me as the telecom minister about spectrum deficiency, I said surely the government will look into it. But what is the current status of optimum use of the existing spectrum? The third is, how can we innovate a frugal technology so that we can bring down the cost? Yes, competition in the telecom sector, in the mobile sector has brought down cost, at times in an artificial manner, at times for the sake of consumer interest. But the sheer size of 1.25 billion people is very keen to have a technology and an innovation which is cost effective. Can we do it? And thirdly, do we need all the functionality? I always say India is different. And I would request the scientists present here today to keep the India focus in mind. When you travel in India, you will find the newest car going, you will find the best buses of the world flying, you will find the new scooter also flying, you will also find the Jugaad technology transport movement also there, where people fix a Kirloskar engine on a thela, put a bench there and allow people to get transported in the most cost-effective manner. Do they have a place to exist in India or not? In my view, surely, that's India. Therefore, how can we polish and refine that technology and the standards fixed for that? And encourage them in a very silent but dedicated way to follow that standard so that there is Jugaad technology with a new polish. That is what I expect from you when I am fixing these things, these questions to you. As far as I believe, our government focus is very clear. You know, the Prime Minister has a passion for technology. Many of you, if you would have watched him work in Gujarat, the way he sought to communicate with his people, he was also awarded by the UN, CM Online, TM Online, SDO Online. And it was a great movement of good governance. He has given certain ideas to us and also to the country. The first is 3S. Speed, scale and skill. Do something on a grand scale with good speed and ensure that the people are skilled well. That the first thing is there. Second is 3D. Democracy, demography and demand. We are proud of Indian democracy. And the way what happened on 26th of May, I always say, is a game changer in the democratic polity of India and a profound message to the democratic world as to how the people of India can come together and vote as one in quest of a better India and good governance. That's the message. Demography. We have got 65% of India 35 and below and 50% of India 25 and below. How we can tap that for a better future for India? I think when you fix standards for India, keep these issues and expectations in mind. And the third theme is also very important. IT plus IT is equal to IT. Information technology today plus India's talent is equal to India tomorrow. That is how it has been. When I say information technology, I mean ICT, information communication technology. How we are leveraging technology since the day we have come to power, some of the issues I would like to share with you. We launched a portal, MyGov, where we sought suggestions from people of India on issues like Ganga cleaning, girl child, infanticide, environment and other core development agenda with their concrete suggestions, and if they have had some video, send that. Within a short span of 15 days, we received 2.5 lakh suggestions. And a very dedicated team in the Prime Minister's office is interacting with them and taking the suggestions on board. 15th August was India's Independence Day. We requested the folks on MyGov to give suggestions for Prime Minister e-greetings on 15th of August. Within a week, we got 3,000 suggestions. We selected 3, and the Prime Minister ended up sending 40 lakh e-greetings to Indians on 15th August. You may have heard about a program of financial inclusion, Jan Dhan Yojana. This Jan Dhan Yojana name was given by them on MyGov, and we selected that. And on 27th of August to be exact, we held 77,000 functions in India, small and big. I went to Chennai. On the same day, 1.5 crore bank accounts were opened. And in 10 to 15 days, it became about 4 crore plus. Poor people having a mobile must have a bank account where they can overdraw 5,000 rupees and have an insurance cover of 1 lakh plus in the event of accident. And if you involve people, how they respond is also a classic example that though it was not insisted that you may deposit something, but when they realize that the Modi government is doing so much for us, they also deposited. And today, 1,200 crore rupees have been deposited by those who opened their account. Poor people, they know the power to die. You may have seen the Swachhta Abhiyan going on. And there's a logo of that, the Chashma of Gandhiji, Swachh Bharat. This was also designed by the people on MyGov. But friends, if you can involve people of India through technology with proper standards, people respond. As I always say in Hindi, देश को जगाने वाला होना चाहिए. देश जागता है और जवाब देता है. Today I am saying this to all of you. Can you keep this big picture in mind while framing standards tailored to India's needs? That's indeed very important. When I see the telecom growth in India, the enormous potential in India, I am very happy that you are localizing your content, C. Keep it up. But you must involve people. One example I always give whenever I go in these functions, how the passion for technology of Indians is enormous. You only give them the enabling atmosphere and they do respond. I had gone to the Aapki Adalat program of Rajat Sharma of India TV, the famous program. And after we had finished the recording where people asked questions, we were having lunch together. And he gave a very interesting example. Whenever I used to return from my stool in the night with my wife, I found my servant sitting on a motorcycle in front of a particular house in Greater Kailash and playing with a smartphone. The third day he asked his wife why the hell he sits only here on a motorcycle. And she said, very simple, the Wi-Fi connection in front of that house is the best. And he uses that to see Brazil football match every day. Now finally see, no one has told him. But he picked up the technology himself. When I became minister, many of my clients from Kashi and adjoining areas of Bihar and UP in eastern part came to congratulate me. They were weavers. And then I brought also a silk sari for my wife, which they have weaved themselves. Then after congratulating me, they were Shia Muslims. They said, yes, sir, what is happening in Syria is very unnerving. Please do something about that. Our people are getting killed. And suddenly one old man picks up his smartphone, develop standards which maintain the purity of the standards but also become acceptable by the people. And I would request all the foreign players here, India is a huge market. You must learn to respond to the needs of Indian people. You will succeed all the more. I always say that. Yes, there are issues. There will be issues. I am very happy that you have been placed in the category of an observer. But what is important is to articulate Indians and India's concern on the world body. That this world cannot operate in a manner that you fix a standard and everyone has to follow. This world is plainly not acceptable to us. And let me draw a parallel on the WTO negotiations. On this whole issue of food security, we had a tiff. We said, you don't stop subsidy for American and European farmers, and you want the minimum support price for Indians to go. Europe and America gives subsidy of 7,000 crores every day to its farmers. We put our foot down. No. We have got food security program for poor people in various states that will continue. The world will have to respond. I was in Germany about a fortnight ago and I had gone to meet the Deputy Prime Minister. He raised this issue which they call the Deputy Vice Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor. I said, yes, you have a point. And they said, we will have to rework. And yes, they work. I would expect the standard society to articulate India's concern on the international stage, which are India specific, and the world must listen to that. That's what I expect from all of us. And as I say, the sheer talent of India's technological pool is enormous. I always say, if, as the Prime Minister said it so beautifully in the Madison Square Garden speech, from snake charmer to mouse handler, that's what Indians have become, and left a great mark. I would like all of you to leverage this power of technology of India and Indians and make that globally competitive your product should be. And this whole Make in India program has emerged from there, as the Prime Minister has said. Rakesh, the Telecom Secretary, talked about this whole Digital India program. What is Digital India program? To bridge the divide between rural India and digital India is the digital program, India program, very simply. Our aim is every village of India must have broadband. Every school, every hospital must have broadband. We have come with National Optical Fiber Network program, and the idea is 50,000 Gram Panchayat this year, 1 lakh next year, 1 lakh next year. 2.5 lakh Gram Panchayat must be connected. We have got that government user network done. Private players will come on. Retailers will take over the way in which India's television industry exploded on the Indian horizon. Enormous potential for e-commerce, e-education, e-health. That's what our whole idea is about. Plus citizen empowerment, digital infrastructure, electronic manufacturing. When I became minister, I was told we have 90 crore mobile phone. I was very happy. And I said in my simple style, इसमें हिंदुस्तान में कितना बनता है? कहा एक भी नहीं बनता है. What is the problem? In the field of IT, we are having our flag aloft all over the world. They said importing into India is cheaper than manufacturing in India. Then we set right the duty structure. We are giving a lot of other incentives, from tax breaks to other incentives to MSIPs, to economic, to clusters in different part of India for electronic cluster. I just laid the foundations in Bhopal and Jabalpur. Now there is a competition between the states that we need to have electronic cluster. From mobile phone to set-top box, to SIM card, to smart card, to medical electronics, to LED lights. Huge potential in India. Have standards for them in these fields of technology. Because I see electronic manufacturing and communication technology also merging at some point of time. Can we have proper standards for them, which are India specific but of global level? That is the big opportunity for you. I think, and the Make in India, which Mr. Rakesh talked about, what is this? The PM said from the rampart of 15th of August, Make in India, zero defect, zero effect. If you ask my view, ladies and gentlemen, I would love to see products made in India shining on the bazaars of the world. When I say make in India, I don't say about Indians make in India. I also say foreigners come make in India, use the Indian consumer market and also export outside. That's the whole concept of make in India. And foreigners player, if they come, they are coming. Now there is a transparent regime. Yes, there have been problems in the past, all of us know that. But that is behind us. The legacy issues shall be settled. But so long as I am a minister and so long as this government is there, the whole regime shall be fair with two objectives in mind: consumer interest and telecom growth. These two shall be the commitment of my government. Therefore, with these broad vision, ladies and gentlemen, I would expect that this body, entrusted with the crucial responsibility of devising standards, would not only rise to the occasion, but also ensure that Indian standards are respected world over. Thanks a lot. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, sir, for your very enlightening and inspiring words. It was indeed a privilege to hear you. I'm sure each one of us shall put in our best efforts and work in tune with the various innovative initiatives of the government to take India to the highest level on the global platform.